Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kathy. I wanted to do a quick video on what is emotional stuffing and emotional repression. So I'm not a psychologist or anything, but it came to my mind, that topic. Yeah, it just kept popping up. So I thought, well, I think I could share something about this. There's a couple different avenues. So I think on one side, people might do emotional stuffing or emotional repression as a self-preservation. Sometimes things are just so awful that have happened to people, and you and those birds are joining in. And you can't even think about it. You don't want your brain to even go there. You might have a meltdown or an emotional break or something like that, which, that's a real thing. And so I can understand that side of it where, to preserve yourself, you're just like, I can't go there. I'll deal with that someday or maybe never. And yeah, and everyone has their own path and all that. On the other hand, it might be more of, just being busy. I can't deal with that right now. Maybe a death in the family that you're just, you're really busy with work, and maybe you have a family and kids are doing this, that, and the other thing. And you're just doing all these things and you're just so busy. You're just like, I don't have time to sit here and think about, my emotions, how I'm feeling about it, and, maybe seeing a therapist or a counselor or anything like that. And so maybe on that side of it, people are just like, I'm too busy. I'm just gonna, move on with life. And it might be a subconscious thing. And yeah, so I have a friend, a really close friend, and he will admit that he stuffs his emotions, and he jokes about it, and just likes to be funny and just like, no, I just stuff and stuff and stuff. And I'm like, well, it'll eventually pop out somewhere. That's my thought. I've had that happen to myself. I've seen that happen. And so if you picture maybe a balloon that you're filling with water, and you're just filling it, filling it, filling it, filling it, and then eventually, it's expanding and expanding and expanding, but it eventually can only go so far, and it might burst everywhere, or it might have a little tear and start leaking. I just thought that might be an example. If you're stuffing your emotions, just, maybe something bad happened, so you stuff that, and then maybe something else happens, that, a death in the family or of a close friend or whatever, and you're not able to deal with that. You're like, okay, I'm just going to stuff that also. But little things pop up here and there, like triggers. And my friend, he will admit, he not only stuffs, but we've never talked about triggers, but I'm sure he would admit that. And I've seen it. He's very triggered by things that it might be holidays or friends or family members, especially, that remind him of things that happened. And yeah, so, and you see little, as you would maybe think, like a little tear in the balloon, like a little hole to just let some of that out. And someone might lash out at someone to keep them at a distance, or just to get out some of their emotions, but not in a productive way. So, yeah, that's just what I've seen. My own experience is that I'm a huge proponent of seeing a counselor or a therapist or someone who can help you. I don't think I've ever seen a psychologist, mostly like therapists or counselors, like a couple grief counselors, other therapists, just throughout all the years. And yeah, I really believe that they can help. Sometimes you get one that maybe you don't click with or mesh with, and they maybe don't provide exactly what you're looking for. So you might have to just change and try someone else, and that's completely fine. So, yeah, so I don't know if that makes sense. My thoughts would be, you know, maybe talk to someone if you feel like, yeah, I've been stuffing my emotions and repressing my emotions for decades, and I do lash out at people. I am very triggered by holidays or family members or things or movies, songs, you know, maybe things just really trigger you. Maybe you burst into tears. Maybe you just have a fit of rage and just, you know, yell at someone at the grocery store or something like that. So yeah, that's my thought, is that the emotions will come out somewhere. You know, you can only stuff that balloon, which is us, so much before there's nothing more there's no more room. But yeah, so I just want to do a short video on that. Let me know what you guys think, if that makes sense, if you can relate. Yeah, I mean, there's some things that I know will just upset me like that if I think about it or really think about all the pieces that got put together, you know, from my past, whatever, maybe, you know, the loss of a loved one, something like that. And I know, you know, I can't just sit there and think about it. It'll just upset me so much. But I have also, you know, gone to counseling and talked to people, and I have really processed a lot compared to where I was in the past. So anyways, yeah, let me know down below if you can relate. I know it's a sensitive topic. You don't have to give, you know, any details. If you want to send me a private email, I have my email in the description box. And I hope everyone's having a great day. All right, God bless.